The Milwaukee Brewers have never seen this before as Jacob Misirowski pulls off something he has never done in the majors. We're going to be breaking it down, going over what this means heading towards the postseason, as well as the final game against the Pittsburgh Pirates. As what I mentioned in the last video, the Brewers absolutely went out and did that. We're going to be breaking this game down here, going over as well, like I mentioned, what this means going forward throughout the month of September and how this team is changing day by day. Before we do jump into what we have here to bring you guys today, be sure to hit the sub button if you haven't already, and you're looking for all of your Milwaukee Brewers news. We're going to have it right here for you guys, and like I said, we have a lot to cover with this postseason coming up very, very soon. But let's jump straight into this, because obviously Jacob Misirowski on the mound today did some very special things, and something that we have not seen in quite some time. And regardless of that, as I mentioned yesterday, having this team come out here in games like this against the Pittsburgh Pirates, where you're winning, 4-1, 4-0, those games are fine. But you need to go out and score more runs. They absolutely did that here today. 9-1 in 3 innings. That is a perfect start for this game, like the Brewers are going out, especially with Jacob Misirowski, where you're not necessarily comfortable with how long he can go ahead of today's game, especially going into a game like this, where we've seen him go really 4 or 5 innings more so throughout, especially since the return from the IL, but so far in his major league career. But going today as an absolutely phenomenal game, only the team allowing 5 hits and 2 runs, that coming in the 2nd and the 8th as well. This team really showed that they're back to their winning ways, that this didn't go anywhere. Now, heading into today's pitching, as I mentioned, Jacob Misirowski went 7 innings. We have yet to see that in the majors, and we're going to kind of jump into the specifics of where that came from and how that kind of came to in a moment here when we get this game done and over with. But with 3 hits today in 7 innings with 8 strikeouts, 2 walks, this was by far the best game that he has had since returning from the IL. And it took a bit of time for him to get back going, and we know that around that time he went down the IL was at the point where he reached his career high in innings. So you have to assume that going on that and coming back, he wasn't definitely in rhythm, but now it seems to have that back, and having Craig Yoho, Joel Payamps come in, be able to hold this game as well when Misirowski comes out is just another phenomenal sign, especially when this bullpen is very hurt, very, very hurt, and you're not going to have your top guys every time, but Craig Yoho with 1 inning, 2 strikeouts, Joel Payamps, 2 hits, 1 earned run allowed, 1 walk, but also 2 strikeouts. For guys that you see who have an incredibly high ERA, that's absolutely perfect for what we're seeing with them. And obviously, having the kind of trust that you're having him in those guys here in these games will build up more and more and more to get them into more and more, more important, but also closer games coming down the line when you may have a short bullpen on some days. And going into this season and going into the past couple months, we've been able to see the importance of having a deep bullpen with especially the Brewers team going inning by inning by inning, usually with their relievers. So seeing this right now, definitely a positive. And also coming into this game, seeing the hitting from just about everybody on this team, everybody except Caleb Durbin here. Caleb Durbin, 3 strikeouts, not his day, but everybody else really made up for what there was missing from him, and especially Andrew Vaughn, 4 hits and 5 at-bats today. Seems like we've been missing Andrew Vaughn for a little bit, so good to see him back as well, getting into a rhythm at this point in the season where we're heading up against some very important teams and some very big games over the next coming days and weeks. So seeing this and being able to, actually get this back, know that this is going to be something that we need to see going forward again is very important and at least good to see in the time being. Now, you're probably looking at the lineup here today as well and thinking, this is not the best lineup that this team can run with. And like I mentioned, we're going to talk about that here now as well going into it. Before we do, though, Jacob Misirowski, like I mentioned, 7 innings. Absolutely phenomenal. And you see a plus 4.7 win percentage added. So when you're looking at the advanced analytics, Jacob Misirowski did not add too much to this game on the side of things, especially where we see this Brewers team go 9 runs in the first 3 innings, and that just takes a lot of pressure off Jacob Misirowski, and that's why this win percentage, the percentage is so low compared to what we saw at least yesterday going in with Brandon Woodruff, who I believe had like a mid-30s win percent added, so it just goes to show how important adding those runs on to help your starting pitching out is. And especially now with Jacob Misirowski, this game, although he pitched an absolute gem, it was good to see him have that run insurance just in case things were a little bit similar to what we've seen the last few games from him. But this is a very good start, and going into this year, we knew Jacob Misirowski was going to be an important part of this team, but now seeing up here at 7 innings and 108 pitches is absolutely, unbelievable to see, and especially the way that we've seen him this season. It's very good to know that he can do this. And Adam McCalvey tweeted this out as well, actually, and saying, Jacob Misirowski's 108 pitch today marked the most he's thrown as a professional. He topped out of the minors at 99 pitches on May 9th this year. His 7 innings matches career high as a pro. He threw 7 innings on May 15th for AAA Nashville, and I believe it was July 7th was the last time that he went 6 innings on this team. So having him normally see a 4 to 5 inning appearance, come into this game, throw 108 pitches, throw 7 innings, and coming in here and absolutely, perfect game from him as well. This is a very good sign going forward, and almost kind of takes away the case that we've made for him of being a bullpen player for this postseason team, and adding him and keeping him in the rotation, if this is something that he can continue to do, is a must for this Brewers team. So keep that in mind when we go into it, because, of course, as we look towards this team in the postseason, we know that taking these pitchers in, having these guys who throw very, very hard, and having them 108 pitches, not usually the best thing for the arm there, but Jacob Misirowski definitely felt good today, which is a positive sign. Now, in this game as well, Todd Rosiak tweeted this out. On the day the Brewers didn't play Christian Yelich, Sal Frelick, or Jackson Chourio, they get a 10-2 win with a sweep against the Pirates. And, of course, Miz was dominant, absolutely dominant, and going over a 34 games over 589-55 right now, and especially having the wins that we're getting right now, the sweep of the Pirates heading into the next series, heading to the rest of this month against some Cubs teams, are going, I guess, figuratively up against this Cubs team who is going to be very good still this month, and as well as the Phillies. Those are two teams that we need to stay ahead of, even though we're not necessarily playing them. You have to think it's almost a head-to-head matchup every day against these two teams. But once again, you're seeing the top players of this Brewers team on the offense out, still being able to do what they did. Just goes to show that this team is legit, and they have not missed a beat. Getting back into this rhythm is the most positive sign we've seen for quite some time for this Brewers team. Now, before I do finish the video off, I do have the update regarding this, the schedule going over the remainder of the month. Now, the Texas Rangers series starts tomorrow, heading through Wednesday, with the day off Thursday, then the Cardinals, then the Angels, Cardinals again, the Padres, and the Reds. So, a few series here that I think should be pretty similar to the Pirates. You just have to still play your game. We know that any team in the MLB can win a game against anybody, so you can't take it easy. Continue these games like you're playing today, and you'll have the ultimate success here. So getting a win against the Cardinals in these two series will be big. The Padres, and going into it, we're going to see a lot of teams that are going to be, fighting for a playoff spot of their own, so they're not going to take anything easily. So that's all I got in this video. Let me know what you think about the game here today, mainly Jacob Misirowski's performance, and how you think this is going to impact him heading into the postseason and the rest of the month, where we have not yet seen that in his professional career, so it's a very good sign going forward with him. But like I said, that's all I got. Thank you for watching. Hope you have a great day. See you later.